The Flame Within: How to Stay Motivated at Work. On a crisp autumn morning, Daniel sat in his small office cubicle, staring blankly at the endless stream of emails filling his inbox. Another day, another list of tasks, and the same overwhelming feeling he had been battling for weeks. Once a driven employee, Daniel now found himself questioning why he was even here. Where had his passion gone? It hadn't always been like this. Just a year ago, he'd walked through those office doors with a fire in his eyes, eager to prove himself and make an impact. Every challenge had felt like a stepping stone toward his dreams. But slowly, the weight of deadlines, the monotony of tasks, and the pressure of expectations had dimmed that flame. He was surviving, but no longer thriving. One afternoon, as Daniel took a coffee break, he ran into his old mentor, Sarah. She had always been someone he admired for her calm, steady success in the company. She noticed the tired look in his eyes and said, "What's going on, Daniel? You don't seem like yourself." Daniel sighed. "I just don't feel it anymore. I'm stuck. It feels like I'm going through the motions, and the passion I had when I started is gone." "How do you stay motivated? You've been doing this for so long, and you always seem energized." Sarah smiled gently, as if she'd heard this question many times before. "Let me tell you a story. There was a time when I felt exactly like you do now. I thought about quitting. But then, one day, something changed." Sarah continued, "I was working late one night, buried in reports, frustrated and drained. That's when I got an email from a colleague. He had taken a project we'd worked on together and presented it to a client. It had gone so well that they signed a major deal with us. But that wasn't the part that stuck with me. In his email, he said, 'This wouldn't have been possible without your hard work and dedication. You may not realize it, but you make a difference here.' I sat there staring at that email for what felt like forever. That one message reminded me of something important. I mattered. What I did every day wasn't just about hitting targets or getting through the day. It was about the impact I had, even in the smallest ways." Daniel leaned in, captivated by Sarah's story. She smiled and added, "Here's what I learned. Motivation doesn't always come from big, flashy moments or huge successes. It's in the little things, the kind words from a colleague, the satisfaction of solving a problem, the growth you experience over time. You won't always feel that initial fire, but if you keep searching for the meaning in what you do, you'll find sparks of it every day." Sarah looked him straight in the eye and said, "Ask yourself this. Why did you start this job? What did you hope to achieve, not just for the company, but for yourself?" Sometimes we forget that motivation comes from within. You don't need to wait for it. You can create it. Daniel went back to his desk that day, and something shifted in his mindset. He realized that while work would always have its challenges, there was meaning in what he did. His effort didn't go unnoticed. And even on the toughest days, he was growing, learning, and impacting the people around him. Weeks passed, and Daniel started to approach his work with a new perspective. He set small goals for himself, things he could look forward to, ways to challenge his skills, and opportunities to collaborate with his team. He made time to connect with his colleagues, learning from their experiences and sharing his own. And just like Sarah had said, the sparks of motivation began to return. Slowly but surely, his passion reignited. It wasn't the same as before. It was deeper, more resilient. Daniel had learned that motivation wasn't a constant flame that burned brightly every day. It flickered, sometimes dimming, but it never fully went out. Whenever he felt that sense of monotony creeping back in, Daniel reminded himself of the impact he could make, the growth he was still achieving, and the reasons he started this journey in the first place. He realized that staying motivated wasn't about being constantly excited. It was about finding purpose, even in the small, quiet moments. The secret to staying motivated at work, Daniel thought, isn't about waiting for the flame to reignite on its own. It's about finding the sparks and letting them light the way.